Today, I will be ranking all of the Generation 7 shiny Pokemon. Yo, what is up, you guys? It's Dominator here, and I am back with another shiny Pokemon tier list video. In the last tier list video, we ranked all of the Generation 6 shiny Pokemon, and we've actually done all of the generations up until now, Generation 7. So, if you want to check out the entire playlist of all my shiny tier list videos, check it out in the card on this side. I always get it mixed up because I am mirrored in my camera. So, yeah, we're on Generation 7, and this is also including the Alolan forms. So, we didn't do them for Gen 1. We just decided to group them with Gen 7 because the tier list I did for Gen 1 did not have them included. So, here they are in this list. We will see that. Also, we will be ranking the Galarian forms in Generation 8 and the Hisuian forms in Generation 8 once we get onto that. But, yeah, without further ado, let us get right into this. But before we begin, make sure you leave a like on the video. Subscribe if you haven't done so yet. YouTube tells me about 87% of you guys who watch my videos are not currently subscribed. So just double check if you're watching this video right now. Double check right under the video. Check to see if you're subscribed. If you're not subscribed, click that subscribe button. It's totally free and it helps me out a ton. And yeah, let's just do the quick rundown. We got awful tier, med tier, good tier, great tier, and god tier. Pretty self-explanatory. We're going to rank these based on my personal opinion on these shinies. So let's begin with Alolan Rattata. I actually think Alolan Rattata and Alolan Raticate are great shinies. I think they're steps up from the Kanto variants of them. More so Rattata than Raticate. I still really like shiny Alolan Raticate, but I do like shiny Kanto Raticate as well. So, but they are still really cool, and I think they're great. Next up, we have Alolan Raichu. I think Alolan Raichu is... What did I rank Kanto Raichu? I feel like... I hope I ranked Kanto Raichu on great because I do like them pretty equally. They're different, but they're different in good ways. I really don't want to rank this higher than Kanto Raichu. I think they're pretty even, but hopefully I did rank Kanto Raichu on great, but we're going to put Alolan Raichu on great as well. All right, Sandshrew. This is a tough one. I think I'm going to put it on meh. It just doesn't change enough for me. It's just the front part that changes. It's okay. I'll put Sandslash on good because more of it changes, and it is the same like blue color, icy blue color that works pretty well with it. I just don't think they did enough for Alolan Sandshrew. I think Sandslash is a lot better. So, meh and good for those. Alolan Vulpix, I'm definitely chucking on meh. It's a very subtle shiny. I do think it's a subtle shiny done relatively well, but not good enough for me to want to rank it higher. So it's going to be on meh. I do think Alolan Ninetales is good, though. Nowhere near as good as Kanto Ninetales, though. Alolan Diglett and Dugtrio, I'm going to chuck them on good. They are better than the Kanto versions. They are a little more sunburnt, and the nose is still blue, which is cool, which the blue nose is what made the Kanto ones pretty cool, but they didn't change enough for me to be that excited about them. But these ones change more. Alolan Meowth and Persian, I used to not really care too much about these shinies, but they have really grown on me. I love the really deep, like, midnight blue and the purple on them. It's so cool. For some reason, there's more purple in the Meowth, but I don't know why. I think this looks better on Persian as a shiny, like that blue color. It just looks so cool. I don't know. I just grown to really like shiny Alolan Persian for some reason. Geodude. I mean, it's good. I think these are all, like, fine shinies. They're middle. Like, they're not that crazy. I think I like the Kanto ones. I don't know, they're very similar to the Kanto ones. Alolan Geodude's more orange, Kanto Geodude's more yellow, but I mean they're very similar. They're fine. They're not bad. They're not good. So here's the thing about Alolan Grimer. This is the one instance where it is. I've always said this. I don't like when they do regional variant shinies to be the normal colors of the normal Pokemon. I think it's pretty boring. Grimer is an exception, though, because it makes total sense as Alolan Grimer looks like a shiny Kanto Grimer, so it makes sense that the shiny Alolan Grimer looks like a regular Kanto Grimer. It's, you know, they're both kind of flip-flopped. It makes sense, but I still don't really care that much about this color. I just think the non-shinies look cooler, in my opinion. They look cooler, especially Muck. I think the green on Muck looks way better than the light purple on Muck, in my opinion. So these ones are meh. Even though I say they do kind of work as the regular colors, it's just, they're not the most exciting shinies. Alolan Executor, I mean, it's pretty much the same as the Kanto Executor. It's actually a little more vibrant than the Kanto Executor shiny, but they're both great, in my opinion. This is what I love to see when they do regional variant shinies. They don't happen too often where they make the shiny the same as the regular variant of them. So, I mean, it makes sense with Alolan Executor as it is the same colors normally as Kanto Executor, but I think they need to do this more often. I love seeing, especially with Pokemon that have good shinies in their normal variants. Like, let me tell you, Galarian Weezing, huge disappointment. It would have been so much cooler if it looked as stunning as Kanto shiny Weezing. So I think I'm going to put Alolan Marowak on good. I think it definitely would have been great if the flames changed color. I know it's not part of the Pokemon, so it makes sense, but it's cool. Don't get me wrong, it's in good. I just don't think it's great because it goes from a like muddier purple to a more bright purple, I guess, or more indigo. So it goes from purple to purple. They're just different types of purples. So the black stomach makes it a little cooler, but not enough for me to put it higher. All right, so that's all the Alolans. Moving on to the actual generation of Pokemon. We got the Rowlet line. You already know the entire Rowlet line's going into God tier. I think Rowlet might be the best shiny starter of all time. I will say Decidueye, not as cool, in my opinion, as Rowlet or Dartrix, but still very similar in color scheme, so they're all insanely cool shinies. Next up, we have the Litten line. I think I'm going to put these in... Oh, this is tough. Like, it's just black to white. Like, that's all it is, but it looks good. It does look really good on these Pokemon. I'm going to do it. We're going to put them in Great. They're all very similar shinies, so we're just going to chuck them all in Great. I do think Torracat is the best designed Pokemon of the three, so I might be favoring that shiny a little more. But, yeah, we're going to chuck them in Great because they are pretty great. Poplio, no secret, we're going to put meh. Brionne, I'm going to put in meh. And Primarina, I'm going to put in good. It's not crazy cool shiny, but it's a little different, and it's not bad at all. Piggy Peck, I'm gonna honestly put in meh. It's just orange, reddish orange to like a pinkish red, so whatever. Trumbeak and Toucanon, this might be controversial. I'm gonna chuck them in good. I think a lot of people overhype these shinies because the beak color changes so much. I don't know, it just doesn't do it for me. I like going from a rainbow color beak to like a different like wavelength of rainbow beak. Doesn't really do much. It would have been cool if more of the body changed color with it. I do think these colors for the beak changing are cool, but it's not enough to make me think it's a really cool shiny. Okay, Yungoos, I'm gonna put in meh. I'm gonna put Gumshoes in good. I like the brighter pink on it. I think it looks a lot cooler. Grubbin, I'm gonna chuck in good. I'm gonna chuck Charjabug and I'm gonna chuck Charjabug in great, and Vikavolt. Oh, this is a tough one. I think people overhype this shiny a lot. I don't think it's that great. I think it's the silvery gray part that really loses me. It's kind of like too many clashing colors. It's like red, bright green, and then this like silver gray. It's like trying to be almost Christmas colors, but it's not, and it's just like an awkward state. I'm just gonna chuck it in good with Charjabug, or with Grubbin, my bad. I think Charjabug's cooler. But yeah, just not that exciting. I'm gonna chuck Crabrawler and Crabominable in good. I think their shinies are good, but Crabominable is just like such a disappointing Pokemon. I found a random shiny Crabrawler in my Moon playthrough, and I evolved it because I was like, this is gonna be so sick, not really knowing what Crabominable was, and I was pretty disappointed, and I didn't reset my game, so it's still a Crabominable. I think Crabrawler is way cooler of a Pokemon, but Crabominable is just, it's a not crazy cool Pokemon, but its shiny is relatively the same as Crabrawler, so, you know, it's fine. Oricorio. I was actually looking at the normal Oricorios, and fun fact about all these shinies is that they are all just reverses of their normal colors. So, this one I'm going to put in great because it looks awesome with the black and red. Normal Oricorio, the black is the red part and the red is the black part. This, pom-pom style one. I'm not gonna say all their names because I actually don't know what they're called. I know this one's pom-pom because it's got pom-poms, obviously. But this one, normally it's like the lighter yellowish green color on the body and then the more brighter yellow on the pom-pom, so that's reversed as well. This one I'm gonna chuck in good because it's like, I don't know, it's a little interesting, but it's like the lighter pink is normally the brighter pink. It's flip-flopped, trust me. Look at the regular ones, they're flip-flopped. And I think this one's great too. I think this one's my favorite designed one as well. I forget its name, what kind of style. I think it's like Sensu or something like that. Maybe. I don't quote me on that. But I think this one's really cool. I love blue shinies, you know me, and I do think this one's the best designed Oricorio. I do think this one shiny is a little better though. So that's my thoughts. They're still great though. Okay, so I'm actually gonna put Ribombee in great. I'm gonna put Cutiefly in good. They're like the same shiny, but the scarf on Ribombee just makes it look cooler in my opinion. That's pretty much it. Rockruff. Okay, Rockruff's a weird one. It's a blue shiny. I love blue shinies, but I hate this color blue they used. But I don't think it's that bad. It's good. I'm not gonna put it in matte. It's good, but like the eyes look whack on it, and the color is just an awkward blue color. I'm not a huge fan of. Midday, I think it's a slightly better blue, so I'm gonna put it in great. Midnight, definite great. And then honestly, Dusk is great too. All the Lichen rocks are cool. Wishy-Washy is nothing interesting. We're putting it in matte. Marini, I'm going to chuck Marini in good. I like the concept of swapping its normal colors and its shiny colors with Corsola because they are mortal enemies, so I think that's kind of cool. Not the craziest shiny, but I think it's a cool concept. Mudbray and Mudsdale, these aren't like crazy exciting shinies, but I think they work really well for the Pokemon, so we're going to put them in great. Like, I do like the bright orange and then the red and the blue. I think that looks, or not red, but like darker orange and blue. I think that's pretty cool. This is a tough one. This might be borderline God tier, but I'm gonna put Dewpider and Araquanid in great for now. Oh, I love this shiny, man. Oh, okay, I'm looking ahead. There's a lot of really cool shinies in Gen 7. I haven't done too many guys. Okay, no, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put Fomantis in great and Lurantis in great. These are great shinies, definitely borderline as well. Honestly, same with these ones. I love how gross colored these are. I think Morlow's a little better than Shiinotic, but I do love this color scheme on them. It looks so cool with like the weird mushroom vibes. Salandit and Salazzle, I'm just gonna chuck in good. They're nothing special, but I mean, Salazzle's not bad, but not great. I wouldn't say great in my opinion. Stuffle, this might be a God tier, honestly. This is a really cool one. Like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put Stuffle and Beware in God tier. I don't know what it is. Like, I'm usually not just chucking gold shinies in God tier because it's not that interesting, but I think Stuffle looks amazing with it. I think it looks way cooler than regular Stuffle. I still love regular Stuffle, but these just work so well for these Pokemon. Same with the entire Bounsweet line. Bounsweet has one of the coolest shinies of all time, in my opinion. Like, these are all so cool, like Bounsweet, Steenie, and Serena. All so cool. Alright, now back to the meh. We got Oranguru and Passimian, both meh. They're not really crazy exciting at all. Comfey is definitely borderline awful tier, but I think there's another Pokemon that might take the cake there. But I think Comfey's just disappointing. If they had changed the flower colors, I get it. They're doing the whole realistic thing, like the flowers are not part of the Pokemon, so why would they change color? It makes sense. It's like Burmy. That doesn't mean it's a good shiny. It would have been so cool if all the flowers changed color too. That would have been like easy God tier if they did. Wimpod and Golisopod are definitely both gray, especially Wimpod with more of the red on it. Awesome. And definitely God tier. We got the Sandygast and Palossand. It's literally like if they were just black shinies, probably great or good, but the fact that the shovel changes to yellow and the eyes are blue, it looks so sick. I love the blue eyes. It's the small touches that do it. Maybe not for Stuffle and Beware, but for most of it, it's the little touches that really push them up there. Pyukumuku, I'm gonna put as good. It's a cucumber colored. It's kind of funny, but yeah. Type Null. Honestly, Type Null has grown on me as a shiny, but I'm gonna only check it on good. Savali, I'm gonna be real. I don't even know what the regular one looks like. I know it's more white, and this is kind of trying to mimic shiny Arceus's colors, but it's meh. It's meh on Silvally. Type Null has a little more color variation in it, and I like that. I'm going to chuck Minior on Great. Fun fact about Minior, when Pokemon Home first came out, so I think there's 7 forms of Minior, but when Pokemon Home first came out, all the shinies were just black, like it's shown now. But when Home first came out, there was actually different shinies for all the different forms of Minior. I'll actually show them on screen now, but that was really exciting. I kind of like that. Like, I know a lot of people didn't because the black Minior was cooler, but I kind of liked that concept, how they all had different shinies. Either way, it'd be cool if they brought it back, but it's fine that they removed it and went back to the original way. So I don't know why it was originally changed and why it got changed back, but it's a cool concept. I would have liked to see that more, but obviously they're not existing anymore, so they're not going to be in this tier list. Next up, we have Komala, and I think I'm going to chuck this one on awful. It's like, what were they thinking with this Pokemon? This shiny made people question what Komala even was as a Pokemon. It's clearly the koala. Like, it's a koala in a coma. It's Komala. But for some reason, the shiny color only changes the log that it's holding. That makes 0 sense. This is a frustrating shiny. This could have been so much cooler if they had just changed. Like, don't get me wrong, keep the log color different. Like, that's unique, that's fun. But change the Pokemon with it. Why is the Pokemon unchanged? Like, and it's like, how does that work in reality? Like, if a Komala just grabs a different colored log, does that make it shiny? Is the log part of the Pokemon? Like, what? I don't even know. Like, there's too many questions about this shiny, and it's not even an exciting shiny. So we're putting in awful. Like, that actually frustrates me. This might be up there with Igglybuff for, like, least favorite shinies of all time. I didn't even think that originally, but I've kind of talked myself into it. I'm getting frustrated about it. Turtonator, I think, is great. Not God tier, but I love the disgusting, gross colors that, like, work so well with Turtonator. I don't know what it is. It's just so cool. Togedemaru, this is definitely a borderline awful one. I'm going to put it in awful. We need a little more awful representation. It's just, like, it doesn't change enough. It goes from, like, a light gray to a light beige color. That's it. Nothing else on it changes, and it's just so disappointing. They do that with all the Pikachu clones. They make them really disappointing, except for, like, 3 of them. Maybe 2. I don't know. Like, the only ones I can think of that are, like, actually cool are, like, Minun and Dedenne. Oh, Pachirisu is pretty cool too, I guess. Okay, so 3. 3 out of the 9 are good. They're all pretty bad. I guess there's only like 7 because Pichu and Pikachu wouldn't count as one. Whatever, it's fine. Mimikyu, I'm going to chuck Mimikyu in Great. I think this is a perfect shiny for this Pokemon, the grayscale colors, because it's like really spooky. But it's not exciting enough to me to put it in God tier. I think it looks amazing for this Pokemon, but I just can't bring it to God. I can't just put a grayscale shiny in God tier, even though I pretty much did it for Slugma in Gen 2. But, you know, regardless, there's just something about this that I feel like it needs a little more to make a God tier, and it's just, I'm not going to do that. Honestly, we're going to put Bruxish on good. I love the crazy, wacky colors on this Pokemon. I just kind of hate the Pokemon, and, like, these crazy, wacky colors are cool and all, but they don't really work well together, so we're just going to put it in the middle. Like, I do rate them sometimes when they are just crazy, wacky colors, kind of like Turtonator, but I think Turtonator's color scheme works better with it than Bruxish's, if you need an explanation. I'm going to put Drampa in good. I like the orangish yellow color. Oh my gosh, I forgot about this Pokemon. We're going God tier for this one. Dhelmise is such a cool shiny. Wait, I need to look at regular Dhelmise. Does the anchor change? Does the anchor change color too? I don't think it does, actually. Okay, the anchor does not change color. I guess that makes sense, but it still looks really cool. I didn't realize the anchor was that brown, which is cool. But the red, oh, such a cool red shiny. We were doing a lot of cool red shinies, and I think it was Gen 6. Was it Gen 6? We did a bunch of cool red shinies. This is one of those cool red shinies. I gotta put it in God tier. Like the pink, the red, like red seaweed. Like, what is that? That's so crazy. Ghost Pokemon have like the coolest shinies. Look at Sandygast and Palossand. Look at the Rowlet line. Ghost Pokemon have the cool shinies. I don't know what, except for Gengar and like one other. Jangmo-o, the entire Jangmo-o line is kind of along the lines as Bruxish. I can't say that Pokemon's name. Kind of along the lines as Bruxish, but works worse than Bruxish. Bruxish is already like wacky, crazy colored, so having a shiny be a different wacky, crazy colored is like pretty cool. Going from a relatively cool colored Pokemon to a wacky, really contradicting color, like bright yellow and bright pink, just looks awful together. These are such a disappointing shiny. These are disappointing pseudo-legendaries as well, in my opinion. These are like my least favorite pseudo-legendary. I think Jangmo-o is fine, but Hakamo-o and Como-o are just not cool pseudo-legendaries. And their shinies are ridiculous looking. Like, they're just so not cool at all. Alright, Tapu Koko, God tier. Not because it's a black shiny, but because it has the subtle touch of the lighter orange from the normal one. That's what makes it so much cool. It's like Halloween. I love Halloween. You guys know me. I don't know if I've said that on the channel, so maybe you don't. Halloween's cool. It gives me Halloween vibes. I love it. Tapu Lele, I'm going to put in great. The pink isn't as cool in my opinion. Tapu Bulu, I'm going to put in good. These are going to be all across the board. And honestly, Tapu Fini, I'm going to put in God. Tapu Lele, the pink doesn't change enough, and it's just pink. Like, it's just light pink. Like, okay, it's not that exciting. Like, it's good for the Pokemon. It isn't great tier, but it's not as exciting. Tapu Bulu, I don't really like as a Pokemon, and going from what was the original color? Wasn't it like green, or I don't know. The yellow is just like it's not the right yellow. If it was like a darker yellow, more of like a, I don't know, maybe like an Alolan Geodude shiny or a Drampa shiny, or maybe like the ears and tail of Alolan Raichu, it would look cooler with the black. But I don't know, man. It's not the craziest shiny in my opinion. And then Tapu Fini, I love blue shinies. The black and the like pale, subtle, soft blue. So cool for that like elegant Pokemon. It is funny. I actually pretty much ranked these shinies in the same way I would rank them as how I like them as the Tapus. Like, I like Tapu Koko the most, then Fini, then Lele, then Bulu. But it kind of just works the same with shinies, I guess. So that's cool. Cosmog is an awful shiny. So this, I got a comment on this in my ranking every shiny Pokemon, like how hard it is to get every shiny Pokemon tier list. Someone commented saying that this is not shiny Cosmog because shiny Cosmog's cheeks are pink instead of blue. This is the shiny sprite for shiny Cosmog in Home. For some reason in Home, the cheeks do not change color. If the cheeks are pink, I guess I would chuck it to meh. But I don't know what to go off of it because shiny Cosmog is not available in any game without cheating, and all we can see it is in the sprites in like Sun and Moon. What does it look like in Sword and Shield? Hold on. Alright, so if you look here, Sun and Moon, so the normal one's the top, the bottom one, it's the cheeks are pink. It is also a slightly different color. Oh, Sword and Shield, it is like pink as well. But look at the sprites for Home. What happened? Okay, they're like red cheeks. They're not really pink, but, you know. What happened with the sprite for Home? I don't know, man. I'm still going to chuck it in awful. It's not an exciting shiny, especially compared, like, Cosmoem. Look at how cool that is with the pink. That's so sick. Like, pink galaxy in it. Solgaleo, I'm going to chuck in meh. I do not like this shiny. And then Lunala, I'm going to chuck in great, I think, because it's borderline God tier probably, but I wouldn't chuck it in God tier. It is really cool though. Blood Moon, super sunburnt Solgaleo is not that cool to me. Cosmoem is really cool though with that like pink galaxy in it. I'm actually gonna put Nihilego in great. I think Nihilego actually looked kind of cool as a shiny, even though it doesn't change too much. I think it looks stunning, especially in Sword and Shield as a shiny when you see people get it from like Dynamax Adventures. It looks so cool. Buzzwole, I'm going to chuck in good. It just gets kind of green on it, but it's kind of goofy looking for a goofy Pokemon. Pheromosa, I'm going to chuck in good. Xurkitree, I'm chucking in great. I love the blue shinies. Not God tier, though. This is probably one of the better shiny UBs, Ultra Bees. I don't know why I said it like that. Celesteela, good. Kartana, good. Guzzlord, great. Necrozma, good. It's a blue shiny, but it's not my cup of tea for blue. It's kind of like Houndour and Houndoom. I do think it's better than Houndour and Houndoom though, because it doesn't have that awful, like, whatever gross color the muzzle was on Houndour and Houndoom, but it's not the most exciting blue in my opinion. Okay, Dusk. I think I'm just gonna chuck the Dusks and the Dawns in the same tier. I wish the colors of Solgaleo and Lunala were like the same as their shiny colors. That probably would have made them so much cooler in my opinion. It might have been a bit ridiculous with Solgaleo, but I feel like it would have been really cool with Lunala. Ultra Necrozma, I'm gonna say meh. It just goes from like bright yellow to very bright pale blue and whatever. Magearna, meh. Fun fact, Magearna didn't even have a shiny until Gen 8 when Home came out. I think in the anime, Lily had like a shiny Magearna, and it was just great. No one realized what that was because up until that point, shiny Magearna was just exactly the same as regular Magearna. But yeah, they didn't add the shiny until Gen 8, which is so strange. I think that's the first time that's ever happened. They've never just not given a Pokemon a shiny. My face cam cut out. They've never just not given a Pokemon a shiny until a later generation. Like, that's so weird in my opinion. But yeah, it's still not that great. It goes from like a pinkish light gray to just a darker gray, I guess. It's not that cool. The Pokeball one I'm gonna put great. I mean, it's a black shiny, but it changes a lot more from the regular one. So plus I just like the concept of the like original colored one anyway, because it was such a cool Pokemon to go after in Pokemon Home, where you have to essentially fill out the entire Pokedex in Home to get it, up until Isle of Armor Pokemon. But really cool concept to grind for, and I do think the shiny is a huge step up from the regular colored one, so there's that. So look at this shiny. I'm putting this in great. Why, you might ask, I'm putting that in great? Well, let me actually show you how this thing works. There's never going to be a good sprite for this to show in a tier list, but this is such a unique concept for a shiny Pokemon. So when Marshadow attacks, its hood turns green like that. When it's shiny though, its hood turns to a super dope purple color. This is what the shiny Marshadow looks like when it's attacking. It looks so sick. Like, that's such a unique shiny where it doesn't really change at all. It actually doesn't change at all until it's attacking. Like, that's so cool in my opinion. It's kind of like Reshiram and Zekrom, except those shinies do change a little bit when they're not attacking, and then they aren't that cool of a change when they are attacking in my opinion. So I do think shiny Marshadow is great just because of the hooded one. Alright, we got Poipole and Naganadel. I'm going to chuck them both in great. Stakataka, I'm going to chuck in good. I'm going to chuck Blacephalon in good. Zeraora, I'm going to chuck in great. Meltan, I'll just chuck Meltan and Melmetal in good. I don't think they're terrible, but they're not the craziest shiny. So, yeah. I'm going to cut here, and I am going to rank these in their respective tiers. We got them all in, but now we're going to put them in order from their tiers. So I will see you when I get to that. All right, I am back. We have organized them in their respective tiers. Awful. I mean, like, come on. Togedemaru is definitely the best of the three. I really talked myself into hating Komala, and then Cosmog is just really disappointing. Meh tier, however, we did a little more reorganization. I feel like I had to put Solgaleo at the top just because it does change quite a bit. It's not the most exciting, like, red color, but, like, compared to some of these other ones, like, it's definitely cooler than those. Not too much to say. Like, I didn't change too much around because they're all pretty equally meh. I do think Poplio is a better shiny than Brionne, and it's very similar to that of Vulpix, like subtle. Not the most exciting subtle shiny, but not a terrible subtle shiny in my opinion. And then, like, all these are very similar. Like all this yellow and, like, weird blue crap. Like, look at these guys are, like, the same shiny. Like, you'd be like, you could totally convince me that Passimian is part of the Wishy-Washy evolution line. Like, look at this. They're all the same color, and they're not that exciting. But yeah, like, there's not too much to say about these. I just had to put the Komodo line at the end, just because these ones are very borderline awful in my opinion. They're just so bad. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Moving on to good tier, we have the Dusk Mane and Dawn Wings Necrozma, and they're like, I just feel like they would have been better if they had the shiny colors of Solgaleo and Lunala added to them. Like, they would have been really cool. And so they're kind of meh. I also chucked like Celesteela there. Like, I don't mind Celesteela shiny, it's just not crazy. Same with like Nultan and Nullmetal. Like, they don't, like, they're fine, like, they're good, they're in good tier. They're just not crazy. Then we got a couple Ultra Beasts in here, like some of the lower end Ultra Beasts, Kartana, Stack Attack. Actually, Stack Attack is definitely cooler than Buzzwole, so we'll chuck Buzzwole down here. So there, that's fine. And yeah, there's a lot of these that are relatively similar. I was trying to like pick and choose which ones were better, and it was just tough. Like in this whole mix, I'm like, they're all very similar to me. Like, I did, however, move Rockruff up. I think I moved Vikavolt up, Tapu Bulu up, the whatever style this is for. Is it Hula? Is it actually just called Hula style of the Oricorio? And, you know, like, I moved a lot of these, like, Alolans and stuff up because they're a little better. And I put Blacephalon and Necrozma at borderline of good tier because they do have a really cool blue color now that I'm looking at it more. I wish Necrozma changed a little more. Blacephalon, it's kind of the same concept where it's just the white goes to blue. If they had changed like the pink and the yellow and the other blue as well, like, it would have been a lot cooler. But they are borderline, same with like Toucannon. Those are pretty much borderline great. Moving on to great tier. I had to put the Litten line at the bottom because they just don't change enough for me to think they're like crazy good, but I do really like them. I do have Nihilego a little lower just because it doesn't really change that much, but I do like the shiny. Same with like Mimikyu. It does change, but not a crazy ton. And then Tapu Lele I think is fine. Like, all these are fine. Moving on, like, I got this nice middle. Like, these are good shinies. Like, I got this nice middle where we got like the Mudbray, Mudsdale, the Morlul and Shiinotic, the Lycanrocs. Like, I think these are all really cool shinies. Like Cosmoem, these Alolans are really cool. I put Poipole and Naganadel up higher. I put these two Oricorios up higher. I put Xurkitree up there. Xurkitree is probably the best shiny Ultra Beast. Did I say mythical? I meant Ultra Beast earlier. But Naganadel is probably like second. They're both really cool. And then I think borderline is honestly like Turtonator and up, because especially Fomantis, Lurantis, Dewpider, and Araquanid, these are really cool. And Zeraora is really cool as well. You know, I mean, they're in great. Like, they're all really cool shinies. Like Lunala. Like, I'm not gonna go over all of them. We went through them while we were ranking them. Finally, we have the God tier. I put Stuffle and Beware. Now that I'm thinking about it a little more, I'm just gonna put these guys in great. Honestly, I talked myself into it. I think Fomantis, Lurantis, Dewpider, and Araquanid are a little better. So if they're in great tier, Stuffle Beware is going to be in great tier as well. They are borderline, though. I will give them that. But, yeah, God tier, we put Delmise at the bottom. Still, like, it's hard to say the shiny is bad, because it's not. It's in God tier. It's the lowest end, but it's still so cool. Like, this is definitely one of the best shinies of Gen 7. And then we got the other two Tapus that actually look really cool as shinies. And then we have Sandygast and Palossand. I definitely think Palosand's a little cooler than Sandygast. It's a little darker, and it has more blue in it, which I think is really cool. Then we got the Bounsweet line coming up in second, and then the top shinies of Gen 7, which was pretty obvious to me, is the shiny Rowlet line. I will stand by it. I think the Rowlet line is probably the best shiny starter line of all time. Very close second would probably be the Trico line. Like, they'd be interchangeable probably for me. They're both so cool. It just sucks how bad Hisui and Decidueye looks. I hate what they do with Hisui and Decidueye. It sucks. But we'll get to that in Gen 8. You'll see that ranked in Gen 8. But here is the entire tier list. And I will scroll through it relatively slowly, but you can pause it at any time if you want. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think, how well I did ranking these. Also, let me know what your favorite Generation 7 shiny is, what your least favorite Generation 7 shiny is, and all that good stuff. But until then, that is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, ring those notification bells, all that good stuff. Be sure to join the domination, and I will see you in the next video.